Well, we got our shower pan today. That's a 24 by 32 shower pan. The little potty fits in there just right. That's another project we're going to get to work on. We finally got some wiring here and got some insulation. We didn't need much insulation, and I had a friend of mine, he brought me down. I told him I need a little bit, he brought me a whole roll, but I don't need that whole roll. We're just going to be putting some up these corners, inside of here, and inside of there. And then we're going to be putting those boards on there that we said that we had got. Probably do a little bit of wiring. And I know we got to do something with the front of this, the kitchen cabinet there on the bottom. I got to put some wood on there. We got to get that framed up and get it on there before we can get started on our shower. So we got a lot of work to do. I got some wood to frame that in right around the microwave there. So we got a little bit of work to do there. We'll just be doing a little bit of everything today. So just want to let you guys know we got the shower pan, and so they're still waiting on the gray water tank. And that gray water tank and that shower and all the hookups on it's going to be a video in itself, because I'll tell you, I had a hard time finding videos out there to help me with this shower pan and the gray water tank. So alright, we got all the insulation in. All we got to do now is pick our boards up and put them into place. And we're going to just take some nice little brad nails. Now I picked that up so it touched the ceiling. And we're going to brad nail this right into the wall. So we'll have a nice corner strip on this guy. Looks good. Now we can start putting some more of our strips on the walls. I'll go ahead and get the other side done. Have the back wall pretty much finished. Alright, just a little closer look at the back corner strips, and they turned out pretty nice, and they're just basically 2x4s. Cutting them 45s. You guys remember when I cut them. I kept them a little bit off of the bottom of the bed there, because you're not going to be able to see that anyhow. So back wall don't look too bad. Make a nice little strip over that thing. Okay, we got this wall all pretty much done. All the strips are on it. It looks pretty good. Now you're gonna see some gaps here and there, like up there. You're gonna see some of these gaps like this. But we'll be using a painter's caulk, and we'll go around and fill them all in. I mean, the ceiling is just made from Luan, so it's very thin, so it'll bow a little bit. So we'll do a little bit of silicone on them cracks, and they'll look really good when we get done with them. Alright, just to make this look a little nicer, we're going to go ahead and trim this out. I'm going to put some trim boards in here and a little trim around the outside edge of it. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this and get it cut and get some boards put in here. Alright, just having that little trim on the inside around that door makes it look nicer. So now we're going to put a trim around the outside of this. Alright, we got our strip on here. I'm not really good at the corners, but I did the best that I could, and we'll do a little bit of painter's caulk in the crack here, and I think it'll look just fine. Okay, I put a little bit of painter's caulk in the cracks here, and it looks good. And I put a little bit of caulk up along the top seam here, and that's that painter's caulk, so it could be sanded or whatever and painted. And I just went right on back along the back wall and did just a little bit of it. And like I said, I'm always jumping around on this thing. I guess maybe I get bored with one thing and want to do something different, or I just find things that need to be done before something else needs done. But I do need to get the wiring up in here. I run a piece of 12-2. That's 12-2 wire right down the corner, and then fish it right through that board there. We got a couple outlets down here and a couple outlets up in here that need to be put in. So I thought I'm going to go ahead and get that in, because I want to try to get all that I can on the bottom here done. That way I can go ahead and put that wood across the bottom. So I'm just going to be working on this 12-2 wiring right now and trying to get some outlets put in. Alright, I got 2 outlets up in there, and then I got a set of wires here for my TV. That's up in that one side. That's right there, so we're going to mount that TV, so I need a power up there. And we got one outlet wired right there for this box. That's our charging system. And I'm just kind of working on getting all the wires plugged into the fuse box here, so we could get in some power to this thing not too long. Alright, I got some of the wiring wired up, so we could go ahead and run the lights in here and the fan in the ceiling so we can breathe. So I went ahead and hooked that box up. That way some of this stuff is running. So we got the light up under there working, and the 2 lights in the ceiling are working, and the fan works. So it makes it easier for us to work in here, kind of get some of the clutter out. Now I'm just working right now on the strips for these corners. I'm going to do some Luan strips down these corners and cover up all these wires. And then I'll do one over there. So, and then we put some caulk back there in the crack. You can see back there we did the caulk and the caulk across the top. Just make it look pretty decent. We'll probably put some up under the counters too. But it's coming together. It's definitely coming together. Okay, what I'm doing now is just working on the front of this. We're going to get 2 doors. One door over here and one door over here. That way we'll have access into there, and we'll have access into this part over here. So what I've done is just put some boards in here where we want our doors at. And this piece over on my side is going to be solid because the shower is going in this corner. So we're going to go ahead and get ready and cut this piece out and get it put on. Alright, we got the wood cut, and I put some liquid nail on here. We're going to bring the piece of wood in here and get it nailed on. Kind of flimsy, but we're going to get her on there and make her look decent. Okay, I threw a few nails in here, and then this is going to be pretty much finished up. But then, like I said, this will give us access to the panel in there and give us access under the sink. Alright, we got the front on our sink, and we're not quite finished with it, but we're going to work our way right around to the shower stall. I'm going to be working on the shower stall. We got one little wall here built. It's 24 inches out. That's just so our stall can stick in there. We're gonna frame this guy up and get the wood on it, but there's still a lot to do here because there's a lot of plumbing and stuff underneath that's got to be put in. We're just basically going to temporarily get this thing in. I don't want to really do the whole thing until I get my shower or my gray water tank underneath there. So that I have to figure all that out yet. So I'm just working on these beams to see what kind of room it's going to take up inside the camper here. Okay, the little shower stall's coming along. We got both the walls framed up. Both these little guys are framed up in there. And we just stuck a piece of Luan back here and make sure we had the right spacing for the Luan, because we want to do Luan on the inside of these walls. Then we'll put our other stuff on the inside of that. So it's looking pretty good. Piece of Luan so far we put up, besides the strips there on these here, we didn't liquid nail. All the other ones are liquid nail. Everything else, like the fronts of the cabinets, the bed, everything's been liquid nailed. Alright, our little shower stall, we got all the Luan and the walls up to it. It doesn't take as much space as I thought it was going to take. And we still got a little room down in here. I'm not sure whether we're going to build shelves in there or whether we're just going to use that for like chairs, storage back in there. I don't know. It's a bit tight, but I was pretty happy to get the shower stall built. I think it looks really nice. And then we got the trim around there to have done today. Down at the bottom, we got a little bit of wiring done. We got a little bit of everything done, but it is coming along. It's definitely looking better.